Okay, dope. I'm going to make a track using Maschine expansion, Aquarius Earth. It's got some dope presets, and it's kind of built like how I lay out most of my pads. So I'll show you kind of a walkthrough of what I would do to get to the live performance stage of using just one of the straight up presets from a Maschine expansion pack. So I already found one that I kind of liked. I listened through a few here, but to keep it shorter video, just to get to the actual making of it, there's honestly like some really dope sounds in here, but Groove Theory Kit had some cool sounds. I have yet to really open it up and check it out, so let's see what it's actually got. Okay, so right away, I know that I would want to do a few things and select multi if you're using an MK3, the full one and not the micro, but I would select multi and select all the musical samples because that way I can put them all into choke group number 1 and make them all one shots. And then make sure my volume destination, I kept calling it the velocity destination, but the actual function I'm explaining when I use the velocity destination is volume percentage. So the volume percentage I set to 0% for all of my musical samples. And I've said it before, but that way I can have dynamics in my drums and kind of give it a bit more of like a realistic feel to it, at least like a real drummer feel to have those dynamics. So now that I got... Okay, cool. So I'm going to go through my drum sounds now too and bring down the volume. Same thing on the velocity destination, but for the volume percentage, I bring to like maybe 70% so that even if you hit it, you still get something and it's not just completely missing. See what I mean? Like this is really light, but even in its lightest now, I still get that dynamic, especially with hi-hats. And just go straight up into the mixer here and whoo, that incent is really, really there right now. So now that I have the choke group set, my volume percentage, and the velocity destination section of the sampler, and I also have my drums sort of set to the dynamics that I want as well, you can kind of go in there and like, I mean, these kits are laid out so clear that you don't have to do much to just be like, at least using them as a starting point to making a track or even just to learn how to do it with some of these preset sounds. So let's hear some of this. I feel like I need this a little louder. My SP has so much noise, and I was talking about that actually with Sarah Too Ill recently with like the ground hum that comes from the 404 and other units like this, but I always recommend to plug it going out of it into a DI and from the DI to your interface, but I don't have enough inputs on my interface right now to have a mic plugged in and the DI, so I just have a gate on it so that right now you can't hear it, but the moment you can kind of hear that high-pitched buzz. Whatever. I don't care about noise. Shit happens. Hip-hop's noisy. You know, whatever. Okay, dope. Let's see what we have here now. That's got kind of a weird click to it. I turn the volume on that down. That volume percentage again. So these are pretty short samples to have to re-trigger, but it's kind of cool. It forces you to like create patterns in a shorter, amount of time of like switches and stuff. Just kind of interesting. Mind you, I've never used an expansion to make a live beat, so this is new for me as well. It's kind of cool. There it is. Okay, cool. That's kind of like, pretty dope to me, at least. I'm feeling like that's got some pretty like rich sounding synths in there and that cool little bass line part to it. I'm gonna go in and just add my on the master that Goodhertz Volf compressor again. Super dope. And I love using this 2-bus glue parallel comp preset and just kind of fudging with it for a second here. Maybe not too much of it, but you know what I mean? Yeah, there isn't too much I do on it. There we go. And then, the other one that's dope too. Whew. Okay, so to talk about the pattern that I'm playing in that, again, it's the thumb. The thumb is the key element to my live performance. Now I continuously trigger the hi-hat with the sample, and it's huge for me. But yeah, it's that whole using your fingers, like if you're a pianist and you're just starting out doing this, I feel like you will pick it up so fast. Just having that ability to do different keys with your fingers. It's similar in that sense where it's just more rhythmic, and I guess I don't know how to compare it, but use your fingers, Okay, dope. So going back to what I was saying, to talk about the pattern, the thumb is so key in this. I feel like not only the thumb, but your index, your middle finger. I feel like I'm using so much of that and so much of my hand to trigger. Your right hand is really important in this. If you're a lefty, do it backwards. So yeah, it's a pretty simple drum pattern again, using those 16ths. But I'm not only about 16ths, but today I am. The pattern starting here is nice, actually, because it's so easy to trigger that first pad with your 2 fingers, just to be able to. And I still have yet to decide if I want to go, or it just means I have to be quicker with, like switching to the thumb. I got to do a few takes of this and try a quick performance, do a little bit of a minute jam. If you've watched thus far, this is episode 4 of Behind the Pads, and I appreciate you watching and, being a part of this journey, figuring out what I'm doing and what's the best way of teaching people, and again, progressing this culture forward of beat making and production. So, If you dig what I'm doing, I have links to all of my music, all the music I do with my Rare Sounds crew. So much music is dropping all the time. If you want to do what I do, you can. It just takes practice and time and persistence, but just put the time in and learn your instrument and just get better one day at a time. I got links to all the gear I use below. What more can I say? Okay. Peace, yo.